going to talk to you today about generations, and I think some of the things you'll learn here, just to kind of preview a little bit, because we'll be spending a little bit of time together, goes from the very general, well, I should say, yeah, from the very general about how history works and some greater context for some of the big events. You notice today in the headlines, the Dow is down. There are fears of deflation. Germany just had the biggest loss of its industrial production and biggest percentage decline in 5 years. And you just think, oh my gosh, here we go again. We were through this in 2008 and 2009 and again 2012 with that big gridlock over the budget, and we're going, what kind of era are we living in? You know, what's going on here? These aren't the rules that were prevailed in the 1990s or the 1980s or some other eras that we remember. So we're going to deal with some of that broad stuff, but we're also going to deal with some things that are extremely concrete. I mean, as Glenn said, just the people in your own lives, how they behave. So we're going to range that whole gamut here. And I will say this, when I talk to a group about generations, the first reaction is, that's a really abstract, impersonal, social science concept. I don't think I can get my mind around it. So the first thing I like to reassure people, there's nothing abstract about it. It's very personal. You will all recognize it. Just take a look at this cartoon I'm going to show you right now. These are 3 sets of high school sweethearts in 3 different decades, okay? And the point of this cartoon is to bring home something I'm sure that you already know, and that is your generational location strongly shapes how you see life. Doesn't mean you actually had one of these conversations. I'm not going to get a show of hands or something like that, but you can all appreciate how each of these images says something about the youth mood of the time. In the 1950s, what was the youth mood? The priority among youth was fitting in, meeting high expectations, and making long-term decisions about the future at a very early age, right? And then suddenly, 20 years later, the youth mood completely changed. Now it was about flouting convention, breaking rules, taking voyages inside yourself. I mean, it was just completely different. And then 20 years later, the mood changed yet again. Now it was about taking care of yourself, surviving in a world where the rules no longer seem to protect young people anymore. It's a dangerous world, right? And the more you look at this, the more other questions are going to occur to you. You're going to begin to wonder how the way these groups are shaped is going to shape or influence the kinds of messages they respond to, the kinds of marketing that works for them, the kinds of candidates in elections they're going to vote for, the kind of products they buy, the way they're going to look at the workplace, and the way that if one of these individuals is your boss or you are hiring one of these individuals, what will be their relationship to you?